All right. Hi, Fiona. How are you?
What's that poster behind you? I'm good. How are you?
Great. There's two. That's Sing Street, and this one's inside
Sing
Llewyn
Street.
Davis.
Oh, very cool. I like it.
It's really
I
tiny. I
haven't
thought
seen
it was
Inside
gonna be
Llewyn
bigger. I thought it was gonna be bigger, and then I got it, and it
Yeah,
was tiny, and I
like
was like,
I just had that little one.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's much smaller than I thought it was going to be when I
I
got it.
haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I thought it was a different movie.
No, it's good. It's my favorite Coen Brothers movie, and then my other favorite Coen Brothers movie is on the other wall because I put The Big Lebowski on that wall for some reason, but that's
Got
pretty
it.
good.
Got it.
It's a good movie. Good
Cool.
movie.
No, I
Highly
missed it.
recommend.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. So to start off, this movie really is a testament to women because not only do you do the same thing the men do, but you have to do it in a pregnancy belly,
Really
and
pregnant.
you
Yeah.
do also do it more so because at one point, Nelly just gets to sit in a boat with a splint on his leg, and you're still
Oh, yeah,
doing
yeah.
this stuff.
Oh, no, no. Yeah. And he just passed out.
Yeah,
I was like,
and you are still running, and he's just like, no, my leg.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
We're
so
carrying him, and it was really quite exhausting, to be honest.
yeah, and then child Asher is just like fire. But which I loved when he out loud said, "Fuck you, fire." I was like, I love Asher Angel so much. But
Yeah, he really
I
committed. He did great.
yeah, and I was like, he never disappoints. I love Asher Angel, but
Yeah.
I talked to Nick, and I lived in California when I was a teenager, and I remember going to school during the fires, and you could see like the ash on our shoes, and we would like go up to the principal and be like, "Why are we here? There's ash shoes,"
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Not my call, guys." And but like these are like the fires are no joke, but like I remember like kind of living in that stuff, and so for you, what was it about kind of not only the environmental impact of what we're all kind of dealing with and the lack
Great.
of care that people put towards that, plus the reality that we all deal with these fires that drew you to this project in the first place.
I mean, it's exactly that. I was raised in California and I lived there for 14 years as an adult. I just left. And it is really, really relevant and feels like it's progressively getting worse. I mean, I think every year in the past 5 years, um, it's been what, 3 weeks or something where you feel like you can't go outside. I don't remember that as a kid. Um, and when I read the script, it felt like a real family. It felt like people that came across as real people. They weren't caricatures. I liked that the pregnant mom had a temper and a little bit of wit. And yeah, I just felt like it was a relevant story that I wanted to tell, you know? Um, and I ended up watching a bunch of the Paradise Fires videos, and it's terrifying, to
Mhm.
really be trapped like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize how close to home that is. Yeah,
Well, and it is too. Like I what I like about the movie too is it is so the chaos of it, where it's like in the moment you could like laugh because it's like one thing after the other. You're like, this is crazy, but it is like in the midst of that chaos that is kind of what fire is. Like it's like fire is nonstop, and if you don't stop it, it's like, yes, if there's a propane tank nearby, you don't want to be near that propane tank because it's not going to end well. And
it's
it's
not gonna end well. Yeah.
I did find myself kind of like I was watching it at night like with my cat, and I was like afraid. Like I was like watching it like this, like something was gonna jump at me. Like it
Oh,
I was
that's
like
great news.
it's fire. Like why was I afraid? It's fire. Uh
It's
but
fire.
but it does have those like elements of like, oh no, I'm kind of afraid of this thing. When you guys are filming though, obviously you can't really have fire. It is a lot of like you guys are relying on the fog and
Smoke machines and stuff
yeah.
and again. Yeah, yeah.
How's that for you as an actor to exist in this fake? I have to pretend it's a fucking fire, and like I'm running around being like, oh, it's the fire, and it's not. Or something.
Yeah, I mean it the the movie takes place in a constant state of anxiety, and that can
Mhm.
get, tiring after a while. But I like acting and imagination, and all of the different tricks that you have to use to keep energy up, especially in the middle of the night, running with a pregnant belly and whatnot. But also the movie was so physical that it was
Mhm.
a little bit easier. Um, and then there were a few moments filming it that were actually scary. Like we had a stunt guy light himself on fire, um, a couple, like I would say maybe 3 or 4 times, a lot of times, to the point that I think that he couldn't light himself on fire again. It was getting too dangerous. But, like watching that is truly scary. And I would watch videos of the real thing before we shot sometimes. And I think the scariest element about it is how fast it comes.
Mhm.
Like the Lahaina fires, I had a lot of family in Lahaina. None there now, thank God. It's also, I think the town is gone, but I used to know that town really well. Um, and it all went,
Mhm.
it's yeah, I think that's the scariest part is you don't know where the threat is. The embers blow to a place where you don't think that the fire is coming that way. Um, my research on it was really scary. It made you
Yeah.
respect it and fear it.
Yeah, I think that for me was the scariest part of this movie when you would like see the ember. Like you would just see like the and I was like, because the whole thing was like, oh, it won't fly with the ridge. I was like, I'm so sorry. Whoever told you that didn't tell you about wind because like it just takes like a one gust and a little itty bitty ember because it's like yeah
Yeah,
it doesn't jump but it's like it doesn't take much with how dry everything is for one thing to kind of jump
for one thing
but
to, yeah, they call 'em, I think spot fires is what they call them.
yeah
Yeah, it's scary.
what is funny for me is I'm a millennial through and through and so seeing Peter Fasinelli though run through the woods really did have my brain being like and like singing the Twilight theme the entire movie because I was just like
You would love that.
I was sitting here like and I did recently just have COVID and bought like it didn't know I had COVID at the time. It was at the mall for my niece's birthday and bought like a Team Edward shirt for some reason in 2023. Was like, I need this. Um and I like was like, that is I don't know what's going on with society and myself, but was like this movie was just so we're in the wilderness and Snelly's running around in the
He's gonna
woods.
save me, or is he gonna bite me? I don't know.
Who knows what's going on?
That's what I need.
But you guys do have like that family dynamic where it is like it is so quick. We do have to like believe that you guys care enough that he's willing to like, you know, risk his life to turn around and go back for his family
For his
because
family. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he could also be that guy that's like, I don't love them enough to turn around. They'll figure it out. They'll come down the hill. Uh did you
I wonder
guys how did you guys kind of like build that very kind of quick family dynamic to make it so that we as the audience know like yeah this guy is willing to risk everything to go back for them because that's a grown child he could like everyone in the car and get them down the hill
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And well, I'm pregnant.
yeah
I
that's
think that, yeah, I thought that the one thing I liked about the script is I feel like it gave just enough weight to the relationships
mhm,
before the action went. So it felt like you were watching people that were a little fleshed out. And yeah, the final edit didn't drop those scenes. I think one before did, and then it was just fire, 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 and then they put some of the emotion back in, and I thought that really worked. Um, yeah, me and Peter ended up being friends, so hopefully that comes through, and he would come back to save me regardless.
you're like if there is a fire Peter is going to come and find me oh
Peter Facinelli is gonna run through the woods and save us all.
it comes across really well like I was like yeah I
Okay,
believe he
good.
would go back and find his family in the woods
He's a good guy.
I don't think he would leave them his
It's
pregnant wife, son, and maybe dying dad at the time. I don't think you would leave them there.
I gotta go back. Yeah. And we shot outside of Austin, and had a lot of, people who work in the actual fire department on set and talking to us about like actual protocols and stuff. So it was, it was really helpful. And my respect for firefighters, uh, you know, was heightened for sure, because it is scary frontline work. Yeah.
Yeah, I told Nick, I was like, where I lived in California was Castaic Lake, so I used to always
Oh,
see
I know it.
the helicopters, and they would come and get all the water because that's the lake they got the water from to go put out the fires. So the
Yeah.
whole time I was watching this movie, I was like, you gotta go get to the lake. You gotta
You
get
can
the water.
stay like
You gotta go get to Castaic Lake and get the water. And then they went to that lake, and I was like, lake, Castaic Lake.
you're like,
But yeah, I was like, you guys there? But thank you so much for talking with me today.
yeah, it was nice talking to you.
The movie is so important, and I hope people go and see it and enjoy. And I hope they love Asher Angel screaming "fuck you, fire" because I thought that was great. I was like,
Yeah.
I love Asher Angel so much.
All right, cool. Thanks, Rachel.
Have a great one.
Too. Bye.
Bye.